It's Wake Up Nigeria, and of course, you definitely know that on the show we bring you everything all music, lifestyle, fashion, and relationship. Moving on to relationship, of course, every individual comes with a unique kind of baggage. But what if, as a woman, you find yourself in a relationship with a man still largely dependent on his parents? How do you begin to deal with such a man, be it in a marriage or in a relationship? That's one tough question. With us, joining us this morning, of course, is relationship coach, Miss Sandra Odufadere. You're welcome to the show.
Good morning. It's good to have you. You look good, man.
Oh, thank you very much. All right. So first off, I need to ask, at what age does a man step out of his parents' house to be independent?
Abroad, when we're in America or in the UK, he's 18 years old, but you know, it doesn't work that way in Nigeria because a lot of factors that are stopping it. I usually basically, when you're out of the university and then you have a job, it's usually advisable to let your children go. Like I always say to parents, once they go to secondary school, they don't come back to you. They've gone. So let them go and let them have their life to live.
But do you think that it actually depends their mental state? Like it actually depends, it affects how independent or non-independent they are as men? Living with your parents.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
When you have to feed your child, when you have to, I know of a man of 40 years old that was still living with his father. At a point, the man said, no, stop giving him food. Let him go and work. Yes, okay. He was already a graduate. He has gone for his master's. I see it as laziness.
As well, okay.
Oh, yeah. So at a point, his father stopped them from giving him food. And he picked an offense. But that really helped him out because at a point, he started having issues with his dad. And then that pushed him to go and do anything.
Yes, I have seen that happen. Yeah. Now, let's break it down to relationships.
Okay.
What side effect do you think it will have on that relationship? For example, if I was dating a man who is still living with his parents.
Okay, I always like to use myself as an example. Okay. While I was dating my husband, he was living with his grandmother in a family house. Okay. He was given one room in there. And then I said to myself, when he was getting to a level where I knew that we were going to get married, and then they were already planning that they were going to give him a bigger apartment and we get married there. I called him one day and I said to him, I'm sorry, look at me, I cannot live under I can't. We have to look for a way around it. So as a woman, I always say in a relationship, a woman owns a relationship.
She does?
Yeah.
Okay.
The man owns the marriage.
I hear of the marriage, but
No, the man owns the marriage. You have a say in the relationship. When you talk, he listens. But when you are now married, he sees you as you don't have anywhere to go. And then he stands on his point. Okay. Yes. A relationship, the lady owns it. You talk and listen in relationship.
I thought it was the other way around.
No, in marriage. Like right now, where do you want to go? But if it is in a relationship, if I can't take the heat, I get out of the kitchen. Yeah, but in marriage, you have nowhere to go. So in a relationship, you still have a say. I remember when we even got the apartment, for him to move was a problem. He said he wasn't going to move. We should wait until the wedding night. And I didn't want any trick. I wanted us to be in our house while we are getting married. So I insisted. But now it cannot be that way.
Yes, but I feel that there are different strokes for different folks. Yeah. There's also, because a lot of men would find it very sensitive. Yeah. How do you approach it in a way that doesn't, make you feel that, oh, are you trying to cut me away from my family
you're not cutting him away. He is a man. Even the parents should encourage him to leave their house. Why would you want to marry in your mother-in-law's husband's house? Yeah, it's her husband's house. If she decides to throw you out tomorrow, it's your business.
Yeah, but you hear there's this connection. People, oh yeah, I have a certain connection with my mother.
No, yeah, that is not stopping it. If you want to give them an apartment, you can say, okay, I'm giving you this flat. It's yours. You can rent it if you don't have money. Rent it out and get an apartment around the environment. Maybe if they live somewhere in Magodo, you can insist that, okay, I still want to see you around. You can get an apartment. Like when I got married, we were always coming to see my parents, mother-in-law, once every week. But it's not so anymore after 11 years. Over time, activities, we just stop it. Okay. So you can insist on that. But don't insist that they should live in your apartment if you want their progress. Because you didn't live in your husband's, in your father-in-law's house. So why are you not insisting your husband or your son get married in your house? It's not right.
All right, so there's also the issue of mothers cooking for their sons, especially in this kind of situation where I'm talking in a marriage now. Okay. I've heard of instances where the mother still cooks for the man, even after they're married. How does the wife in this kind of situation deal with?
No, there's absolutely nothing wrong in your mother-in-law cooking for your husband.
Really?
If you have a good relationship.
Okay.
If you have, that's what
all the time?
Not all the time. Maybe once in a while, like when you give birth. When she comes for omugo, and you can't, like someone that like me.
We're not talking omugo now. Omugo is
not
different.
all the time. All the time is wrong.
Okay.
All the time is wrong. My own husband, I don't know of some other people, does not even accept food from any other person except me. Even when I give birth, he would be starving until I start cooking.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you are still wanting to be cooking for your son while he's married, you're not helping. You're not helping the marriage because this woman will not be happy. And it's very good for you to start competition. Because there's a competition between the daughter-in-law and the mother-in-law. So as a mother-in-law, I always advise people. At several occasions, I say to my mother-in-law, I have offended you now. I say, I'm sorry. Does not mean I won't offend you again. I'm sorry, but I can't be like you. Do you understand? So you have to have a large heart to take this lady as your daughter. Like if I offend my mom now, she will call me later and say, Sandra, I don't like what you just did. But if it's the mother-in-law that is having nursing grudges, she will keep it, and that will go to another level. So try to have an open conversation. I used to have conversation with my mother-in-law. Okay. Yeah, she's not around now. She's relocated to America. But when she was in Nigeria, we do have conversation. She knows that I could be very stubborn.
Okay, so moving back to relationships right now. Would you suggest or would you advise young women to be in a relationship with men living in their parents' house?
Be in a relationship with the men.
Would you advise that they should?
Of course, everybody have a starting point. Because
for someone like me, it's a deal breaker. No, so if you're a man and you still live in your parents' house, you're a mommy's boy.
No.
That's the general perception, really.
No, it's not. It's not, because everybody have their humble beginning. He's just starting. He met you. You cannot meet a millionaire like that. Everybody cannot be a millionaire when they get married. You have to build together. Like in my own case, there was no finance as at that time. I told him, okay, I have this so amount. Let's come together. And we agreed on a particular time, and we got the apartment. So you can also come together if he listens. You know, some people, they just stand on it like, I don't want to.
Exactly.
Man, then you should have a rethink. Because the truth is that if you live in the same house with your mother-in-law, there will always be issues. We all know now, ladies, we don't know how to accommodate ourselves. Even with the mother-in-laws. I'm sorry, but that's the truth in reality.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Sandra. It's always a pleasure having you on the show. So women, ladies, I hope you've been able to learn one or two from this conversation this morning.